Now on CoastTV News.
Special election events. Both candidates for Delaware's open house seat in District 20 make their case. OC boating closure. We have the dredging plans to improve navigation in time for next month's White Marlin Open.
This is CoastTV News Midday.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Elisa Weber and welcome to Coast TV News Midday. We're taking a live look outside at Rehoboth Beach right now. A busy Rehoboth Beach, plenty of people enjoying the sun, Bob.
Wow.
Looks like it's a nice day out there on the beach. I'm a little jealous.
I would be too. Look at the sea of umbrellas out there, Elisa. A beautiful afternoon, I should say late morning now going on across much of the region. Cooler 80 in Rehoboth and Bethany Beach, but inland areas 85, Georgetown, Laurel 84. So we're warming up. It's still muggy out there. It's that area you can wear. Dew points in the low to mid 70s and already feels like temperatures for a lot of us away from the coast in the lower 90s, and really no relief in the form of wind as we're seeing our satellite picture now with some puffy cumulus clouds, maybe a few showers trying to get going across the eastern shore. Otherwise, it's mostly sunny skies, but with the heating of the day, I think we could see some storms developing over the top of us, and those could bring heavy rain. I'm watching this front back to the west as that draws closer as we go into tomorrow. That could bring maybe some flooding conditions. There is a flood watch for the eastern shore, also the major metropolises from D.C. up to New York today. I don't think we're looking at super heavy rain today. We're looking at a mix of sun and clouds. Here's 2 p.m. with mid 80s, and then if we do see a pop-up storm, maybe some brief heavy rain, watch for that. Then things quiet down this evening. Day part forecast has us with a mix of sun and clouds. That outside chance of a storm this afternoon, but wider coverage of storms into Tuesday and increased flood potential. I'll talk about that coming up a little bit later in the newscast.
Thank you, Bob. Happening this afternoon, the Republican candidate for the Delaware House District 20 special election is holding a campaign event in Lewis. In less than 1 year, Nikki Miller is making a second run at this seat. In November 2024, Miller lost to Stell Parker Selby by just 275 votes. Miller is hosting a meet and greet at Nicola's off of Coastal Highway from 3 to 5 p.m. And Miller's Democratic opponent, Alana Berry, kicked off her campaigning in Milton on Saturday. Berry says this marked the start of door knocking and meeting as many voters as possible. Supporters gathered at Milton Memorial Park to get their yard signs and listen to Democratic officials from across Delaware. The August 5th special election comes after former District 20 Representative Stell Parker Selby resigned following her long-term absence due to ongoing health issues. And early and absentee voting is happening. Remember, you must request an absentee ballot. All early voting is at Mariner Middle School and a newly added location at Lewis Elementary School. And if you want to vote early in District 20's special election, here are some key dates. Early starts July 24th through the 26th from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Then continues July 28th and 29th with the same hours. Then July 30th through August 3rd, voting will be from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Happening today, discussion and possible action regarding the Roosevelt Landing development. The proposed subdivision would create 8 single-family homes and is located at the site of the Lewis Dairy on Pilot Town Road. Some people who live nearby say they're sad to see the dairy go, but also they're fine with the size of this development.
At least that's small, you know, not going to create that much traffic, and not like some of the larger building areas. I hated to see the dairy leave, really, because it's been there, had been there for so long, but you know, everything changes.
And this will be discussed at the Lewis Council meeting tonight at 5:30. A developing situation in Rehoboth Beach this morning. We are awaiting the next steps by the city police and other responders for a missing swimmer. It was just Sunday morning, just after 11, that the search was suspended. The Rehoboth Beach Police Department was called to the beach Saturday night near Olive Avenue for a report of a missing swimmer. Both state police helicopters and the Coast Guard were involved in that search. And visitors at Delaware Seashore State Park will have to stay clear of some areas starting today. Denrick says crews are testing the sand bypass system around the Indian River Inlet. Crews are moving large amounts of sand through high-pressure pipes from the south side to the north side. Entering active work zones is prohibited as pumping operations are dangerous. Those tests will run Mondays through Thursdays over the next 4 weeks. And similar work is taking place today in Ocean City. Emergency dredging operations will kick off at the Ocean City Inlet. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is performing the dredging to restore safety for boaters ahead of the White Marlin Open. The Maryland Department of Natural Resources says the northern half of the harbor channel will be closed to boat traffic while dredging is performed. The operation is expected to take 8 to 10 days. President Trump's threat to hit the European Union and Mexico with 30% tariffs is the latest in an escalating trade war. This as both sides battle over what impact the tariffs will have here at home. Meanwhile, as Homeland Security Secretary is defending her department's latest moves, NBC's Alice Barr shows us what could be next for both top issues.
President Trump stepping up trade tensions again with more top U.S. trading partners over the weekend, announcing new 30% tariffs on Mexico and the European Union, set to take effect August 1st, while signaling he's still open to negotiate.
We're dealing with other countries and certain countries that would rather have a deal than a regular tariff, and we're willing, if they're willing to open up.
European leaders sharply critical of the tariffs they say would hurt businesses and consumers on both sides, pledging to intensify negotiations while warning they could retaliate. Mexico calling the new levies unfair treatment after President Trump accused the country of not stopping the cartels. Despite tariff uncertainty over the past several months, inflation has cooled, and the Trump administration is adamant prices won't go up.
Well, these tariffs are real if the president doesn't get a deal that he thinks is good enough. But, conversations are ongoing, and we'll see where the dust settles.
While some experts warn of a looming cumulative impact if all the threatened import taxes go through.
Everything is going to cost more over time.
At the same time, Homeland Security head Kristi Noem is defending her department's response to the deadly flooding in Texas, sharply refuting claims that a policy requiring her sign off on contracts over $100,000 caused delays.
Those contracts. Just false.
And on the future of FEMA.
The president recognizes that FEMA should not exist the way that it always has been. It needs to be redeployed in a new way.
Pointing to other federal resources like the Coast Guard that helped respond. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Coming up after the break, college career opportunity, how students can get involved with the city of Salisbury. New this morning, a deadline is approaching for students interested in interning with the city of Salisbury. The final day for applications is tomorrow, July 15th. According to Salisbury officials, there are positions available in several departments, such as government, zoo, and city council. The city says college students can apply online. In Ocean City, volunteers will take to the beach for cleanup efforts this week. The town says you can take part tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Volunteers will meet at 4th Street to pick up materials and then come back together for a trash weigh-in once all of that work is done at 9:30.
We're seeing a typical summer July day across Delmarva. Some puffy cumulus clouds in Cambridge, 86. Watch out for a storm as we go into the evening hours. Some of those could pack a punch with some heavy rain and could cause local flooding. A higher chance of flash flooding, I believe, on Tuesday with more widespread activity. Congratulations to Lana J. Weiss from Georgetown on winning a brand new umbrella from Paul Davis and CoastTV. More on that flood potential coming up in my full forecast after the break. We're coming off a nice weekend. Weather-wise, it really cooperated. We had a stable flow off the ocean, and now things are changing a little bit. We're still seeing dry conditions. We're looking at puffy cumulus clouds in Laurel right now, 84 degrees, and it's muggy, and we'll be seeing mid-80s, and I think we could see a few showers and storms as we go into the afternoon hours. It's in the storyline. I think we could be seeing some isolated thunderstorms later this afternoon and this evening. Some of those could pack a punch with flash flooding and locally heavy rain. I think more of a widespread situation on Tuesday with a stalled out front and drenching downpours. So flooding is a concern. We'll want to be weather aware as we go through this evening and then into Tuesday as well. Right now, nothing in the way of a flood watch over Delaware, but parts of the eastern shore under a flood watch later today into tonight and early tomorrow. That means conditions are favorable for flash flooding, and that's also the case I-95 corridor from Richmond to D.C., Philadelphia, and New York. And I think the axis of this flood watch could be moving right over the top of us as we go into tomorrow. As we're seeing just some puffy cumulus clouds right now in the visible satellite picture, looks like some showers trying to get going across the eastern shore from Tillman west of Easton right now in Centerville, and some of these could be putting down some heavy rain. So we'll watch those, and we'll watch for more activity popping up, I think, into the afternoon as we have a little disturbance back to our west. That'll be swinging through today. But then there's a cold front across the Ohio Valley, and this system will be getting close to us as we go into tomorrow, stalling nearby and giving us that potential for very heavy rain with slow-moving thunderstorms tomorrow. We're seeing temperatures mid to some upper 80s right now away from the coast, with 81 in Rehoboth, 81 in Bethany Beach, Georgetown 85, Millsboro 86, and those dreaded dew points. Look at this, low to mid 70s. It's that air you can wear, so already feeling pretty sticky out there with feels like temperatures in the low to mid 90s. There is a southerly breeze right now, and we'll be watching this front that is to our north and west settle somewhere near us. And once again, we could be seeing training storms, meaning that they're going over the same place time after time with drenching downpours and maybe some flash flooding as we go into Tuesday. As we go into this afternoon, here's Futurecast, mid 80s by 2 p.m. We could fire up isolated storms that could pack a punch with heavy rain. Mid to upper 80s around 4 p.m., 70s and 80s at the coast. And any isolated storms will die down for a while this evening. Then we'll see another system move in later tonight. This one could bring more widespread heavier rain, maybe 11 p.m. till about midnight. And then that system moves out. And by tomorrow morning, we're in the low 70s, kind of muggy. And then as that front gets nearby, I think we'll see more widespread activity. Now, this model is not picking up on the storms as it was the last model run, but I think we will be seeing more in the way of widespread storms, and by afternoon and evening, some heavy rain for sure, and maybe some flooding as well as we go into your Tuesday evening, and things should start to quiet down. As far as severe weather, really not expecting that. A low chance eastern shore, northern Sussex County. I think the main threat this evening will be heavy rain. Later today, there is a slight risk of excessive rain over us, with a moderate risk farther to the north and west. Tomorrow, much of Delaware under that slight risk, lower chances farther south, and then we're looking at things beginning to calm down as we go into Wednesday. Some places could see in excess of 2 to 3 inches of rain. Really depends on where that heavier rain sets up. Muggy meter, very humid to miserable the next several days as we're looking at temperatures. Upper 80s in Harrington, Georgetown, and Millsboro today, 87 in Cambridge and Vienna, 87 in Salisbury, 82 in Ocean City. Paul Davis 7-day forecast heads up for the heavier storms Tuesday, 85. Still lingering storms Wednesday, hot by the end of the week. Thursday and Friday, lower 90s, more storms Friday, and then maybe again on Sunday with a high of 89.
Thank you, Bob. And here's what you can expect this afternoon on Coast Life at 4.
Well, we hope you had a great weekend here along coastal Delmarva, but we also want you to join us today at 4 for some more fun here on Coast Life, because we have sent our field correspondent Kendall Gordon down to Rehoboth Beach to check in with the Rehoboth Beach Patrol and see all that they have been up to. We're crossing our fingers for another win for them. We're also going to be chatting with the women at Morse Roofing to see how they are shaping their company in a roofing industry, which is typically a male-dominated field. And also for a Monday, we've got some laughs on deck for you with our joke jar. All that fun and more is coming up today at 4 on Coast Life.
Mariners be on alert. A loggerhead sea turtle in distress has been spotted in the Indian River Bay. You can see that animal on your screen right now. According to the Murr Institute, the turtle has an injury to the rear of the top of its shell. It's struggling to dive and is covered in algae and barnacles. Murr is actively trying to locate it, and if you do see the turtle, please contact Murr immediately, and if possible, stay with it until help arrives. On Friday, the Murr Institute received an unusual call. A mother and calf pair of bottlenose dolphins had been spotted near Milton's Memorial Park. Take a look at this. Murr says the dolphins were likely in the area seeking fish, and while uncommon, there are reports of dolphins in the Broadkill on a regular basis. When the tide turned, Murr says the dolphins quickly swam back out the river. Coming up, Be Salty in Salisbury will tell you how organizers plan to make this market an annual event. A new community event kicked off over the weekend in downtown Salisbury. The Be Salty Market on Main Street took place. Event organizer and owner of Be Salty, Jessica Larson, says the goal is to have affordable shopping for the local community. Visitors at the market could shop for local vendors and businesses, enjoy some food and drinks, and do a craft or two. And coming up tonight on DSN at 6:15, it's live Maryland boys basketball. Then at 10:30, you can catch the final score. And on DSN Plus, along with that basketball game, you will also get these exclusives all at 6 o'clock. It's high school girls basketball at Crown Sports Center. There's also high school boys lacrosse at DE Turf.
We're seeing a gorgeous beach day on this Monday, seeing some beachgoers out there near the Roosevelt Inlet in Lewis on the Tullen Razor Cam, 89 degrees and a beautiful afternoon, mid to upper 80s, but watch for heavier showers and storms. A warm and muggy Monday on the way. We could see those storms causing local flooding this evening and then a higher chance of flash flooding Tuesday with more widespread activity. Call the Coast TV First Alert weather phone. The number is 443-880-9100. Your forecast just a call away. Sponsored by the law offices of Brockstead, Mandalis, Federico. I'll have your 10-day forecast coming up after the break. Most of us are seeing dry conditions, warm and muggy for most of us, but we are seeing some showers popping up across the eastern shore. And watch for heavy rain here, and some of those storms could overspread the rest of Delmarva as we head into the afternoon hours, perhaps causing some flash flooding later this afternoon. Day part forecast not showing the storms, but they'll be popping up isolated in nature into the afternoon and maybe even into the evening hours, and it will remain very, very muggy. Paul Davis 10-day forecast, 87 today, and then Tuesday, I think we're going to be seeing a more widespread event where we could be seeing some flash flooding with thunderstorms and a high around 85. Lingering storms Wednesday, 88. Hot for the end of the week, lower 90s. More storms Friday, upper 80s into the weekend. Looks like another storm chance on Sunday, and then maybe again next Tuesday with temperatures into the mid to upper 80s. Typical summer pattern.
Sounds good, Bob. Thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News Midday. And for more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. Don't forget to join us for Coast TV News at 5 later this afternoon. Have a great day.